Wake up, Woodward. We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid
I'm
hot.
fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener! Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Hey, what up, though, people? Welcome to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off your Tuesday with the crew.
Tuesday.
I hope everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend. We definitely want to pay our respects to those that have served this country and gave their lives for the freedoms that we all deserve. I know we weren't on yesterday to be able to state that, but I do have family members that have passed in service, and those that are still serving. But I want to make sure that everybody who has a family member that did serve and passed away, that you guys know their service is appreciated. So thank you all greatly.
Yes.
Brother, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing fantastic. Kool-Aid. I'm so excited to get back in the studio. Flannel is filling in for Neil all week, so he'll be on Big D Energy for the remainder of the week. So we're going to have to take care of business up here on the desk.
We got it.
We
man.
got it, but we got to look at who's in the sound. Look at that guy over there.
Look at that crispy hat, that crispy hoodie.
That's drip.
He's over there giving JB a run for his money with this Go Blue type gear.
Yes.
Thank you, fellas. Honored to be here as always.
Did you turn any water to wine over the weekend?
No. Just caught up on some sleep. Did some wake surfing up north. Very gorgeous weekend. So had a great weekend. How about you guys?
Wait. No. Wake surfing?
Yeah. So you know what wakeboarding is, correct?
I have.
Is that white people shit?
Yeah.
That might be white people shit. I don't know about that.
All right. Well,
Except for Kareem Campbell.
wake surfing is where you go on a boat and the wave is big enough behind the boat where it makes a surf wave, and I can be on the wave with no rope and can be riding the wave behind the boat as the boat's moving with no rope. So
Superstar Justin.
It's our version of ghost riding the whip. Just on water. Thalassophobia, that's the fear of the ocean.
What is that?
Yeah, there's a word I learned from Harry Mack over the weekend. Thalassophobia.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys are learning. I'm learning a lot today.
Yeah. You know what else I learned this
Wake
weekend?
up, Woodward.
You know what we didn't say on Friday before we get to you know who?
Yeah.
It was his birthday.
Hey!
It was his birthday.
Let's
Everyone
go,
out there,
goat.
wish JBSMOOOOOV, who Kool-Aid's about to introduce, a happy birthday. Over the weekend, you celebrated it, JB?
Yeah, over the weekend, my birthday was Saturday, so I officially am 36. I feel old, so don't say anything. But,
What?
It
You're
was
36.
Yes.
I know you just dropped that on live TV, on live YouTube.
On live YouTube. Yep, just put the age out there like that. But it was a good time. I got to celebrate my birthday with my best friend, Anna. We kind of celebrate during the same week because hers is like 2 days away from mine. And then Memorial Day, obviously. So it was a lot of relaxing, a lot of cookouts, a lot of good food, but good time.
Is
overall.
Anna the one with the son is he becoming a baseball player or basketball? He's getting really into sports.
Yes, so Anna
That's
is
what's
the
up.
one with the son who is like heavy into sports. So whether it's football, baseball, basketball, my man plays everything, and he just wants to go out there and just try everything, which is a plus. Just go out there and try whatever sports you want to try, and whatever sticks to you, whatever you like, go on, continue on with it. But man,
Shout out to Woodward Sports' MVP, JB Smooth. I feel like JB would
Shout
make
out.
like the best coach.
Right?
I really
/
do.
dad?
Yeah. Are you trying to speak that to existence?
don't speak that to
He's
me.
over there knocking
No,
on
I
the
don't mean it
door.
like that. And I don't mean it like daddy
Don't you
either.
put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
You know what? Shout out to KG as well. Detroit's #1 draft pick and rookie of the year. He will be back in tomorrow.
Shout
So
out.
today we got 4 of our 6 here today. And Matthew Barter, you want to tell the people what we are going to talk about?
Yeah, 4 of 6. That's what Matt Vierling hit on Sunday against the Blue Jays. No, but today we're going heavy Tigers and heavy Lions today. I preface that because tomorrow we're going to go heavy Pistons and heavy Lions today. Today we're talking about the Lions defense, but there's a lot from this weekend we got to review about the Tigers. It was a good one. They took care of business when they needed to. It wasn't so clean. There were some ugly moments, but they took care of business at 8:45. On the Tigers subject, if the videos are working, that's why we were a little bit late. Everything kind of crashed on us there. I got some words. I want to show you why I think Tarek Skubal has been so good this year, so dominant this year. And I think there's a little Professor Southpaw coming out in the 8:30 segment at 8:45. We're debuting a new game. It's called Guess Woo. Guess Woo. This is NFL edition. And I'll explain when we get there at 8:45. Then the whole second half, 9 o'clock, we're going to be talking a lot of Lions defense, playing some more clips from their media days last week. It's going to be a fun show. But Kool-Aid, before we get started.
Yes, sir.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, let's say you do this job for the next 30, 40 years. Like, you become a mainstay in Detroit sports media, and then you decide to retire on your own accord. And 99% of the industry is celebrating it. They're like, man, finally, Kool-Aid retired. He is done. So Angel Hernandez retired yesterday. The umpire, the infamous umpire from the major leagues. I don't want to bash him too hard, but I just thought it's wild.
That's wild.
Wild.
When I saw that breaking news alert come across the screen, I was just like, well, I didn't even know how to feel. It was just like, okay, is this about time?
A breaking news alert for an umpire retiring. Think about that.
That kind of tells you the impact or lack thereof that he's had on Major League Baseball during his career. That was a wild one to me.
Wild. I remember I think it was Bobby Higginson like 20, 25 years ago. He would call in, or he did something on the radio with 97.1, and he would call in talking about how horrible Angel Hernandez is. This is the man. I'm not a fan. I don't want to move to the robo-umps, to the robo-strike zone, the computerized strike zone. I don't want that. But Angel Hernandez is one of those. It's making it really tough to make a case.
If there's an ump that makes you want the robots, it's Angel Hernandez.
That's not a good thing. That's not a compliment.
And you know what? When you look at what happened with Armando Galarraga and
Jim Joyce.
Jim Joyce, I like Jim Joyce a lot, because he took responsibility for the situation, which shows you might not necessarily need the robots if your umpires are going to be forthright with their calls. But Angel Hernandez, he seemed to have a stick shoved up his butt and out of his mouth, bro.
For decades.
For decades.
And the robot, the computerized strike zone, that's the I'm happy to talk. What Edseal?
He said, sorry, when Brad Allen retires, I will celebrate.
That's that other side. Like Jim Joyce. I almost don't want them to ever give Armando Galarraga that perfect game. It was a perfect game or a no-hitter.
Perfect game.
It was a perfect game.
Yeah.
Because I remember that moment in such a good light now. Like, it could have been the worst thing ever, but how it was handled from both sides. You know, Jim Joyce, he came out teary-eyed. The next day, he was behind the plate.
Mm-hmm.
Then Armando Galarraga came and delivered the lineup card. It was just like a really good moment, especially when you compare it to Brad Allen, sorry ass, coming out and lying and doubling down.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Just admit it.
Exactly.
And we're fine. Us Detroit fans, if you say you were wrong, we're cool.
Yeah, we've gotten the apology letters from the NFL before, and we were like, we're still mad, but at least we know. At least we know on socials, with our friends that are fans of other teams, we can sit down at the table and say, no, y'all got one. Y'all got one. At the very least. It doesn't make everything right. But
No.
I think when you can be honest in the face of a mistake, I do think that it makes things just a little bit better. So
It does.
that's an interesting one, man. That was an interesting one.
Shout out. We talked happy birthday to one legend already today. JB, his birthday was on Saturday. You know who else's birthday was today? Kirk Gibson.
Ooh.
This is a Detroit sport. This is a Michigan sports legend, a football and baseball star at Michigan State. Went on to a historic Hall of Fame career with the Tigers, with the Dodgers. One of the most epic home runs ever as a Dodger. One of the most epic home runs ever as a Tiger. Kirk Gibson is a legend. I actually didn't know it was his birthday, and I even brought a Kirk Gibson card today. It's a 1983 Fleer Kirk Gibson. The planets were aligned this morning. Happy birthday, Kirk Gibson.
And with the cards, we got to get you, Anson, and Kid Kool-Aid to do some content, bro.
That we actually have something. Anson has been working behind the scenes. He's got something up his sleeve.
Let's go.
We might be coming up with something, card related and whatnot.
Epic cards, man.
There was a tease in there for people who know collectibles.
And you know what? Ed O'Neill said, please read the other super chat. I missed this one in the beginning. $4.99. Thank you, Ed O'Neill. He says, GM, the Bears fan, good morning. The next Bears fan wants to run their mouth. Remind them that 2010, the Bears have only 4 wins over Green Bay, while the Lions have 11. But we suck.
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
That's what they say down in Chicago. All right, well, let's talk about these Tigers next segment. Kool-Aid, why don't you tell them about Premier Pet before we get into these Tigers taking care of the Blue Jays. Tigers eat birds. They ate them this week, and also it was phenomenal. Dan Dickerson and Joe Carter on the one Roku channel broadcast. But nonetheless, Kool-Aid, what do you feed your Lions, Tigers? You might not feed your Bears. Oh, my?
Nah.
That didn't really work.
Nah, the Bears, they can take care of themselves, man. They can take care of themselves. But if I want to give my pet the best, you guys see the Lions shirt. It's cold, too, man. Give your pet the best at Premier Pet Supply. It is hands down Michigan's best pet store. They have the same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers with one major difference. They've been family and locally owned for over 30-plus years. They carry over 60 brands of food, and they have nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside and home delivery. Give your pet the best at PremierPetSupply.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out PremierPetSupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
What happens when you're in a great business for over 50 years? You expand, you offer more products to more people, and that's exactly what Les Stanford did when they added Les Stanford Buick GMC. Go check them out. They still offer the same great service that their customers have come to know and trust. They're located on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile Road. You can also check them out in Dearborn today. Go to LesStanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive down Woodward, the legendary Woodward Avenue, man. Legendary. All 4 sports teams. On one street, really on like one block, man. The only sports city in America like that. I can't wait till we start winning again. But
imagine that moment when there are 2 teams that are good, or 3. Like, I think the Red Wings and the Tigers are trending that direction to be competing when the Lions are still competing too. The Pistons, I hope they can be turned around in the next couple of years. I don't see that pathway as clear as I do for the Tigers and the Red Wings. But man, once those teams start competing consistently, with what the Lions are doing, man, that city, Detroit, is going to absolutely explode.
And I know the Pistons haven't made it look like this is possible, but the NBA is one of those leagues where you can literally turn things around in a season or two.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen with the Cleveland Cavaliers. We've seen it happen with the Phoenix Suns. We've seen it happen with the Houston Rockets. And I can literally go down a list of teams. I think I got some prepared for Wednesday, so I'll save it.
Yes, in a weekend like this where the Tigers won at home. Like that's the key. That's part of the key to the excitement downtown. It's when you come home in front of your hometown fans, you take care of business.
Yeah.
This is not only a series that the Tigers needed, but the fact that it was home where actually they've struggled. If you extrapolate it, that's a long word, extrapolate it over the last 2 seasons, they struggle more at home than away. And I don't necessarily know what the reason are. It's becoming a large enough sample size where there is something to it. But not only to be able to come home and win this series 3-4 against the Blue Jays, but to do it after losing a horrible Friday game. Like, Friday was no bueno.
I think everybody was a little down.
Yeah, like big time.
Yeah.
Thursday, my fault. Thursday, it was a 4-game. You knew what I was
Thursday,
talking about.
was a little down.
The 9-1 loss.
Yeah, when Flannel said stick a fork in them. Now, look, we've told you here on this platform, we're going to cover the team in 2 kind of directions. One is game by game. The other one, though, is expectations. And one thing that I do, week by week, especially after these losing streaks, they're in the midst of like a 2 or 3 game losing streak, and I asked you before, does this change your expectations for the Detroit Tigers? And you know what you told me? No, it does not.
No.
I think the what makes this look a little bit worse when they go through the losing stretches is that the AL Central is much better than any of us thought it was heading into the season. But as things stand right now, the Detroit Tigers are 26-27 after 53 games.
Yeah.
That's
there's still 109 games left in the season.
Yeah. And the bats, they're starting to put up some runs more consistently or more in clusters than we saw in the beginning of the season. You want to see this thing get more consistent. You don't want to see it be something where it's like late in the game. Now all of a sudden people are hitting multiple home runs and they're having to come back, take the lead and things. You want to see this be something that's consistent throughout the game. But
that's
I want to
the
hear
key.
you talk about the Tigers.
No, that is the key. And I'm not ready to jump on and say, man, this offense, they're close to turning it around. I don't know that yet. But
Yeah.
I set this tweet out, and it blew up a little more than I expected. But I don't think that this Tigers team is a bad team. They're 26-27. They're in 4th place in the AL Central, which we thought was going to be a pretty easy division to compete in. But they're like 10 games back from the Guardians at the top. I don't think they're a bad team. I think they have a below average offense that on certain days looks like the worst offense in the MLB. Like for stretches, looks like the worst offense in the MLB. But they're not. They're just below average. They're just not very good right now. If they can find a way with a very good pitching staff, and again, the bullpen, they're struggling as of late. The whole pitching staff isn't as dominant as it was at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But I put them as a very good pitching staff that sometimes plays average.
And if you're saying that, I will take that to be true.
Do it. Take it.
I
Take
will.
it to be truth. If that offense can find a way to be consistently average, like just average, with the staff that they have.
Please.
You know, that's why I'm so optimistic, and I don't know the long-term strategy. Do they make certain trades this year? Do they are they relying on bringing some guys up? Do they trade a pitcher? Do they trade a hitter? What do they do? I don't know yet, but you can see. And again, this is somehow I got roped into like a Javi Baez supporter, which is so far from the truth. I don't know how this all got intertwined, but I'm going to shout out Javi Baez, Colt Keith, some of these guys who have hit mostly in the second half of the batting order, 5 through 9. When they're hitting with runners in scoring position, when they're able to drive in runs, this entire offense, this entire lineup, it's different. It feels different. It's much more difficult to pitch to. It's a very easy lineup to pitch to if you only got 4 guys to really worry about. And if we're being honest, it's probably 2 or 3 in any given day.
Yeah.
And one thing we saw on Sunday, before the game started, the Tigers had just won 2 in a row after dropping the first game. Game 1 was a pitcher's duel between Jack Flaherty and Kevin Gausman. Who I remember who pitched against us. We went down to LSU my freshman year at Michigan, and he pitched, and he was an absolute animal, even, what was that, a decade ago? That was a pitcher's duel that the bullpen just fell apart in. They lost 9-1. Game 2, We'll get into it a little more. Reese Olson, gem. Absolute gem.
Yeah.
Lowered his ERA to what, 1.82? Something like that. I got the stats here. I'll read it off. But
Yeah.
Sunday, they end up winning 14-11. But before the game started, Kerry Carpenter, Colt Keith, and Riley Green were taken out of the lineup. And I think social media went nuts. Like, everyone, including myself. I woke up and I was like, Colt Keith and Kerry Carpenter have been the hottest hitters on this team for the last week, 2, 3 weeks. And I know there's a very good lefty on the mind. You say Kikuchi, who didn't pitch well. He's a very good lefty, and lefties don't hit well. But nonetheless, my thing was, because you're under 500, just play your hot hitters. Give them a chance every couple of lefties to hit against them. Like, how are they going to get better? How's Colt Keith going to get better hitting against lefties if you take him out every time? How's Kerry Carpenter going to continue to improve and build on what's turning into an all-star caliber season if you take him out every time it's a lefty? And I know there are strategic moves and some analytics that play into why you want to keep those guys out, and they end up coming in later in the game and whatnot. But still, to me, sometimes you got to put the analytics down and just play your hot hitters or play your young hitters so they get better.
Yep, and they can get consistent. They can find a rhythm. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but most sports, and I think baseball more than any other, rhythm is very important.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It is, and it's why we want to be patient with some of these young hitters. Like, I don't know if the stats or this has changed in the last 10 years, but as long as I can remember, this sort of baseline number at bats that you want your minor leaguer, that you want your draft picks, your young players to see are like 10,000 at bats in the minor leagues. That's a lot of bats, but that's so those hitters can see pitches. They can see different types of spin. They can get comfortable. They can build habits. They can build off success when they have it by repeating things, by building off their mechanics, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter. But in this case, a hitter, you want to be able to see pitches so you train your eyes. And we're going to see when we talk more about Scooble in the next segment just how difficult it is to hit a major league fastball, especially against someone like Scooble. It's difficult. So these hitters, these young hitters, need to just see as many pitches as possible. That's why we see Colt Keith starting to figure some things out. He's seen big league hitting. He's seen big league pitchers, I should say, and big league pitchers adjusting to his strength and his weaknesses. That's the difference between major league pitchers and AAA, AA, single A. It's the ability to have enough pitches in your repertoire, have enough stuff where you can go at any hitter's weakness with a strength of yours. That's what part of what's made Scooble so good. He now has 3, 4, maybe 5 pitches that are a strength that he can attack hitters with in the strike zone. So it's all about patience. Neil, go ahead. Rip me for being patient. I'm being patient with this team because these young hitters need time. And I'm not saying that means don't make a trade at the trade deadline. I'm not saying don't see if you can compete this year. But for the grand scheme of things, we got to be patient with this team. They're coming.
And your narrative is fit. There's been times when I'm like, dang, this team is 3 games under 500, 4 games. They were 6 games above 500 at some point. They were just a hair out of third place, second place in this division. And it looked like this team was just going to pack it in.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're 26 and 27. They just faced the Blue Jays and really put the works on them. Yeah. It's something to behold realistically because I don't think this Tigers team is just done. As you see some of these guys figuring things out is where I'm hoping somewhere within the Tigers organization somebody is listening to Mr. Matthew Broder because I do want to see these guys get the time to be consistent. Shout out to Keys to Wisdom as well. He said Mets are 22 and 30 with over 300 million on the payroll. The Tigers are outdoing them at just over 100 million with 8 million still going to Mickey.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
It is pretty wild. That shows you, and is also why some people want them to spend because they're close. Like, imagine if you spent for some bats. I get that. I'm not saying those people are wrong. But just what he said, they're close. And with Javi Baez hitting a little bit, or Colt Keith, like, if you just fill out this lineup a little more with this pitching staff, you can compete with anyone. What's good, Justin?
The Mets did the opposite with the Tigers.
You might be muted, possibly. It might also be my headphones, but
I hear you.
Oh, you hear me?
Let it fly.
All right. So the Mets, why their payroll is so high though is because when they traded Verlander and they traded Scherzer, they ate a lot of their cap in order for them to get the prospects that they wanted in the elite level. So they ate a bunch of that cap, which is why their payroll is that high. They're not paying a big portion of that salary currently like we are with Miggy and Baez, because Baez is playing okay, but I'll stay.
Yeah, they found a way out of those massive contracts by eating them. Steve Cohen, their owner, ate those contracts, but he ate them so that he could trade those players and get prospects back because they spent way too much money. It didn't work, but they were able to move on from that. You're so right. And Ed O'Neill said in the chat, it was a great connection. We were patient with the 22 Lions. Let's be patient with the 24 Tigers. I feel a lot of that team and this Tigers team just close. They might not make the playoffs, but they're going to be right there. They're coming.
Yeah. I see more of a foundation right now that they can build on. You just hope that this organization takes that seriously. I don't want to see this team have some of the potential and have some of the young players that they do, have the pitching staff that they do, and they waste this thing. They just continue to kind of rest on it. Look, guys, go out there and get this done. And you said connections?
Yes.
You know what? Burn, $5 super chat. Thank you for the super chat. He says, let's be honest, the bats are getting hot because of the City Connect. Hey. According to Mark Hanna, they're really hot to wear on the field.
Like actually warm?
I don't know.
They're playing well in them. They're playing
well, though.
They got a 2-game series coming up against the Pirates tonight and tomorrow afternoon. They're wearing the City Connects tonight. They're keeping it going. So hopefully we can see some more runs. The higher they can score, the dispo transition at this moment, blah, blah, blah.
Listen, I'm ready for this next segment.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, Broder's about to break down Tariq Skubal. You got Southpaw talking to Southpaw, somebody who played baseball at a high level. I can't wait for this next segment.
I'm excited.
Man. I can't.
I'm excited. Let me tell you first about Dispo Dispensary, because you can visit them today for deals that are too good to miss. Meet a team there that curates an unbelievable atmosphere and shopping experience. You got the freshest inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products, so come through their stores or order on Dispo Dash today. That's Dispo Dispensary. DispoShops.com, your local cannabis
Smoke
plug.
weed every day. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Drive into summer and drive into savings during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. We're stocked with new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Like this 2024 Silverado for only $217 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $199 a month. Find your freedom in a Feldman at the Memorial Day sale going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Might be muted.
And work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There's more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world, so go check them out. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
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 What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you all for kicking off the day with the crew. Flannel Sam will be back next week. He's filling in on Big D Energy all week. KG will be back tomorrow. what we're rocking today with Justin. I gotta figure out something because you're kind of elevated from intern Justin.
You're muted.
A little bit, just a little bit. I don't know what my new title technically is though. People have been asking me. I have no idea because I don't technically know what my new job is.
Well, I'll just introduce you from now on as that dude, Justin.
Hey.
And you know what? Woodward Sports MVP in the it's Tuesday. In the titty move, JBSMOOOOOV.
I forgot it was Tuesday.
And you know,
this whole week is getting so messed up. Like, I thought yesterday was Sunday. I thought today was Monday. Man, it's so wild.
Yep, so wild. And let me see. I saw it here in the chat before we get into the Scuba breakdown because he's on the mound today.
Oh, yeah, he is.
And yes, he is. And somebody said, oh, my gosh, I wish I would have seen it. Do you think the Tigers can stay in the wild card race?
Yeah. Honestly, it's all going to rely on their offense.
Yeah.
Like their pitching, while it's not going to be perfect all season, their pitching will keep them in it as long as it takes. But their offense, if they can't score runs, they'll find their way. They'll slip out of that wild card race real fast.
I think at this point, it wouldn't be a successful season if we fall out of the wild card race. I think in terms of adjusting my expectations, I think that it's important that we stay in that race until the last day of the season.
Yeah, at least stay in the race. Stay in something competitive where it matters. Every single game you're playing, even if you fall out of it. I do believe that these Tigers are in a different position than the Red Wings. The Red Wings missing the playoffs, that was a disappointment. Down the stretch, you go and you have some falters without Dylan Larkin, and then when he returns with Dylan Larkin, when you put the patch on your jersey and all that stuff. With the Tigers, they're not necessarily as talented as them, in my opinion, all the way around. So I at least want to see them just stick around in the wild card race and have an opportunity to hit some of those early season expectations. But I see the glove. I see the ball. I see Scoob on the back screen.
Yes.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, Scooble. Why is Scooble so good? There's 3 reasons why I think he's so good. But first, Terry Scooble's so fascinating to me because he's like he's like a modern throwback. He reminds me of a left-handed Roger Clemens, just an absolute bulldog on the mound. Yeah. With a little bit of Clayton Kershaw sprinkled in because he's a southpaw. But the way that he's able to just methodically go and attack hitters now, because of his stuff, because of these 3 reasons that I'm going to point out, and these are just 3 relatively high-level reasons, but they're part of what I think has made his transition, his progression into being one of the game's best pitchers so fun to watch. And the first, maybe it's not simple, but it's his pitch mix. Tarek Skubal, he's got a Kyrie Irving type bag. Like for a pitcher, he has 5 pitches that are above average isn't the right word, but he has a 5-pitch mix that he's able to use to go attack hitters. He does it by throwing his 4-seam fastball, which is now, you see him hit 100 a couple times. He sits in the upper 90s. Over the last 2 years, his fastball velocity has jumped 2 miles per hour from like 94 before his injury to about 96.5 right now his average. But what's taking it to the next level is he's developed his changeup, and this is what he started to show last year. He throws his changeup probably about 25% of the time, actually 27%. His changeup averages about 86 miles per hour. So he's throwing what we'll call it a 97 mile an hour fastball, 12 miles per hour slower. He throws a nasty changeup that looks just like his fastball. That's a tease coming up to number 2.
You gonna break this down for us?
I'm gonna break this down for you.
Dope.
And then that sets up, he's got a slider, which is this pitch he used a lot against left-handed hitters. A slider is a pitch that goes away from a lefty hitter. Scubal's pitching from his left hand, which sliding across a left-handed hitter's face. 4th pitch. This is almost as hard as his fastball, his 2-seam fastball. What we see on TV a lot, they call it a sinker. Scubal throws this more as a 2-seam fastball, at least with a 2-seam grip, so that the ball runs horizontally and not vertically. Like a sinker is going down. Scubal's looking for it to run to look like a fastball that's going straight, but at the very last moment start to cut. And then the very last pitch he does, he throws a knuckle curve. He only throws this about 5% of the time. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is his fastball changeup. This is an overlay. And what I'm going to talk about next, he's got this 5-pitch mix. And there's a term in baseball, it's called tunneling, pitch tunneling. And what it means is you want, the goal as a pitcher is to be as deceptive to the hitter as possible. You want each and every pitch to look exactly the same as the one you throw before. And you do that by your arm speed being the same. And you can bring this video down for now. You want your arm speed when you're throwing a changeup, which is a slower pitch, 12 miles an hour slower. You want your arm to be moving as fast as it is when you're throwing a fastball. You want it to look exactly like the fastball that you throw, but at the very last minute, it dips and it dives and it drops and it's slower so that the hitter is ahead of the ball or is swinging over it. He thinks with Skubal, his fastball is coming at the top of the zone, and this is where Skubal started to locate his four-seam fastball so well this year, where before, Skubal was accurate. He didn't walk many players, but his command, he was struggling with his command. He would let his four-seam fastball or his off-speed pitches kind of leak over the heart of the plate. So the hitters were barreling it up. They were hitting the ball hard. Now, this year, he's able to command his fastball a lot more, throwing it up, throwing it down, throwing it inside and out. And now developing this changeup allows him to change speeds even that much more. And there's one, and I'm going to see if I can go up to this back wall.
On the back wall?
Yes.
You know what?
If you could throw up that overlay, I'm taking my headphone out.
And as you're getting set up, shout out to the Keys to Wisdom. Makes a great point here. You know what the key to good pitching is?
What?
He says the Broder Road right down Woodward. Take it away.
There we go. I'm going to leave that one be. I love you, Keys to Wisdom. Can you hear this?
I can hear you.
All right, let me grab this ball. So you see, when Tarik Skubal's up here, there's this overlay. You're going to see him throw. Let me actually get out of the way real quick. His first one is a 99-mile-an-hour fastball up right there on the outside part of the plate. That's a competitive ball. Yeah. That's what we call a competitive ball. A pitch he's throwing outside of the strike zone, but it's for a specific reason. He's now has a 91-mile-an-hour slider that he'll throw the second pitch here.
Right on the edge of the plate.
A major league hitter is not supposed to strike out looking like this. You're going to see him just absolutely set the bat down and walk away because he thinks with this fastball coming up 99 miles per hour, up and outside of the strike zone, he thinks that this second pitch, this pitch tunneling, Tarik Skubal wants to make his slider look exactly the same as the fastball until the very last moment where it then cuts in on the outside of the plate. Normally you see pitchers, they have these pitch sequences where they keep the hitters off balance. It's usually on what they call the glove side. So where the side where the hitter's hitting now, a right-handed hitter, you usually see him throw a fastball up and in and then like a slider down and in because it's much easier to throw harder and to throw sharper breaking pitches when you're throwing to your glove side because as a lefty, you need your body to stay as closed as possible and then reach out as far as possible to get down and in to that right-handed hitter. What's very difficult to do is to throw hard, to throw sharp, and to do this on the outside of the plate. So I'm showing you this fastball that's 99 miles per hour, and it's a ball on the outside of the plate. Usually, when you're working that outside of the plate, what pitchers risk, they hit it up, they open their front side to then let the ball kind of travel up and out of the strike zone. It's hard to throw a slider, an effective slider, when you open up like that. So what he's been able to do, he's been able to throw that fastball to the outside of the plate and then come through with a slider that looks exactly like a fastball, that pitch tunneling until the very last second and then cuts in and catches the edge of that plate. This is one of those overlays from the pitching ninja, Rob Friedman, that I was just blown away because you don't see it happen usually on the outside of the plate like that. Usually it's the fastball changeup from before. And Justin, I'm going to switch over to this mic, so I'm going to turn this off.
Yep, and you know what I like about Tarik Skubal, which reminds me a little bit of Justin Verlander?
Thank you, man.
When he strikes out a pitcher or when he lays on a pitch like that just covers outside of the corner, you know what I see the batters do?
What?
They don't even complain. Sometimes I'll see a batter look at the umpire like, what? That's out of the zone or this is it. With guys like Skubal, which is what we saw a lot with Justin Verlander, they almost have to look out at the mound like, what the heck is that guy on?
Right.
Yeah.
Like it looks insane. When you think about a hitter, and there's a good video, I should find it online somewhere. From the time a pitcher releases a ball from his hand to the time it crosses the plate, a hitter has 400 milliseconds. Actually, the ball, it takes 400 milliseconds for the ball to leave the pitcher's hand to then cross the plate. It takes a pitcher, it takes a hitter, let me make sure I have the right numbers. It takes the brain 100 milliseconds to process an image. So 1/4 of that time from the pitcher's hand to the plate is gone. It takes 175 milliseconds for the average hitter to swing. Just from the time you decide to swing to swinging, that takes 175 milliseconds. So we're at 275 milliseconds of that 400 milliseconds. So there's only 125 milliseconds left to not only gauge what pitch it is. Is it a fastball? Does it have spin? Is it a curveball? Is it a changeup? Should I swing? Like, I have to decide in that 125 milliseconds, do I swing? Is it a ball? Is it a strike? This is on average a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. If Scooble's throwing 100, that time from the time he releases is that much harder. So the more that a pitcher, I think what I'm getting at is the more that a pitcher can make all of his pitches look exactly the same out of his hand, to as close as he can to the pitcher, the hitter making his decision on whether to swing or not, the more dominant that pitcher is. And that's part of what Scooble's gotten so good at, making his changeup look exactly like his fastball, making his slider come out of his hand exactly like his fastball. And that has to do with the grip. That has to do with the arm speed. That has to do with your mechanics. But the third thing why Scooble's been so effective, before we get to this next segment, he has that bulldog mentality. He is that ace. He thinks like an ace. He's got his body built to pitch like an ace, to pitch like a bulldog. He got hurt before. His mechanics were a little bit out of whack. He wasn't using his legs very much. It was all arm. It was very whippy, and he could throw hard. He had good stuff, but we saw injuries start to happen. We saw him start to lack control of his fastball, or that command of his fastball, I should say. You see him, the dude has tree trunks. Like, his legs are massive, and you can see him, if you slow down his pitching motion, it looks exactly, or you can see him stay as long in his legs as like humanly possible. It's the difference between him and Jacob deGrom, a pitcher for the Mets, who has been one of the best pitchers ever. He keeps getting injuries. He throws so hard, but it's all arm. It's all whip. He's a good athlete, but he doesn't use his legs as much.
And that was something that you pointed out earlier in the season when we did an earlier breakdown. It was like, yo, look how stable like his legs and his kind of from the waist down is. Scooble just has a command on pitching. And personally, I want to just clap it up for you. You did a great job on this segment.
Shout out Dr. Southpaw.
I was about to get there too. Justin got you a new nickname.
Oh, yeah?
Dr. Southpaw. Hey, y'all, I need you guys to put some love, some likes in the chat for my man, Broder. Great job, bro.
Appreciate that.
Great
Appreciate
job.
It. He's fun to watch, especially as a pitcher. Like, he's fun to watch. His pitch mix, his sequencing, how he goes about getting hitters. The more you watch him, the more you, as a pitcher, I start to understand what he's thinking. And that's where baseball gets exciting for me. And it might not be that way for everybody, but like, trying to guess what he's going to do next, how he's going to attack Vlad Guerrero, who was 9 for 16 this weekend, or Bo Bichette, who was 7 for 18. Guys that might look good in a Tigers uniform.
And I got one more question before we get to this next segment, which I'm looking forward to. Guess who? I can't wait. Rando Smalls, Broder, the chat thinks hitting a baseball is not the hardest thing to do in any sport. Can you settle?
It by far is the hardest thing to do in sports. You're trying to hit a round ball with a round bat. The ball is traveling 101 miles per hour, 102 miles per hour. I just got done 400 milliseconds. 400 milliseconds for a 90-mile-an-hour fastball from the time a pitcher releases it to crosses the plate. 400 milliseconds, that's how long it takes to blink. And you're having to decide, do I swing at this? Is it a strike? Is it a ball? Is it a fastball? Is it a curveball? Is it a changeup? Is it a sinker? Is it a split finger?
You got a big thank
Is it
you
a
from
screwball? Got you, Rando. There are other hard things in sport. It really shouldn't be a competition, but golf's difficult. The ball is there. It's still.
Yeah. What else is difficult?
I think it's hard to a slap shot.
Yeah, defending
hockey.
Kool-Aid in his prime.
Exactly. How do you do that?
I don't know. I just shoot over.
I don't want to guard Kyrie.
As someone who plays baseball and hockey, slap shot is nowhere near as hard as hitting a baseball.
Right, but it's hard.
Yeah.
You require your coordination to be able to skate and move and hit the puck, and the puck is moving. I'm just saying there are hard things to do in sports. none harder than hitting a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
My
from
batting
Tarek
average
Skubal.
was like 210.
Yeah.
In high school. And when I started, goodness, as Flannel would say, it starts with a 0 after the decimal. Found a way to kind of bring it up a little towards the end of the season. We had some, I'm not going to talk about the high school teams we played against, but let's just say it got a little bit easier. The pitchers weren't as on it. I got to get a couple hits, get some steals. You guys already know that. But
led the league in steals.
Well, yes. Good job, man.
I got you.
Great job.
By the way, Skubal's on the mound today, 6:40 p.m. Tomorrow, who we got? We got Flaherty on the mound. Tomorrow we got I can't believe I'm not. I know who Flaherty is on the mound. I know who he's pitching against. That's Paul Skeens.
And they won.
That's must-see TV.
Yep. And they won the last series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Or did they split it?
I can't remember. It was earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Pirates, these are two really good young pitchers, Paul Skeens and Jared Jones. Paul Skeens was the #1 overall pick in last year's draft. Usually they don't make it to the bigs this fast. Paul Skeens is a phenomenal talent. But keep an eye on him. And again, I don't wish injury upon anybody, but watch him tomorrow afternoon. I think it's a 1:10 start. He throws so violently, like it's part of what makes him good. I'm 50% blown away and 50% terrified that his arm's going to fall off every time he throws a pitch. It is so violent. He's like 6'6", 6'7", 250, 275 pounds, and his arm it's hard to explain. Watch, think about violence, and think about how a little baby elbow bone can handle that.
Yeah, it has a really big whipping motion that it looks like unless he fixes his arm mechanics, he's going to be in for some trouble later in his career.
I agree. I
This
hope
is
he
great,
does
man.
figure it
I
out.
love this network because of our ability to not just talk our passion about sports, but a lot of us have played it either in high school, played it in college, played Pro-Am. You played a little Pro-Am. I played a little Pro-Am. It's an awesome thing to be able to come on here and not just talk it, but to be able to break it down. So I can't wait. I know as we get further into football season, as we get further into basketball season, as we get back into hockey season, we're going to have even more breakdowns. Like I look
This is
forward
our
to, like,
test.
Yeah.
Like, I loved it. We were playing around today. Part of, like, it actually wasn't this video that was working, but we want to try to use this back wall a little bit more. I want to, this is test #1. I sort of like how it's getting started. We're going to be doing more stuff like that.
Well, we told the people we're not resting on our laurels. Everything we're doing is to continue to raise not just the production value of what we bring to the table, but what we're able to offer you guys from an informational standpoint, and just having some fun as well. So
all the shows have fun.
All of them.
They all have a little different flavor to them.
Elite transition.
Zing.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate you guys for kicking off the day with Wake Up Woodward. Go on ahead and smash that like button. If you have, then encourage somebody else to do the same, especially for great stuff like this. I don't really know where you're going in today's Detroit media market and getting breakdowns like you just saw from Broder right here on the Wake Up Woodward Show, which you guys tap into Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. And after us, I hope you guys are tapping into Big D Energy from 11 to 1 every day, Monday through Friday, hosted by 4-time Stanley Cup champion, the defender and guardian of Detroit, Darren McCarty, alongside his co-host, Neil Rule, the Golden Voice. After that, from 2 to 4, you got Armani and Edwards with Maz, hosted by the lovable radio legend Tom Mazaway, U of M legend and former NFL wide receiver Braylon Edwards, and Detroit media king Ryan Armani. And after that, you got the Woodward heavyweights, the big fellas from 5 to 7. Shout out to Spinamo Racks. Shout out to Easy. Shout out to Chris Platty and Nick Koloff in the sound booth as well. They do good work. The biggest interviews, the biggest breakdowns, the biggest laughs. But most importantly, I want to make sure you guys know we appreciate everything you do to support Woodward Sports, which is now the #1 digital sports network in this region. Thank you, guys.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
And with the first pick in the 2024 media.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The new glorious ice water bubble hash pre-roll now has diamonds in it, everybody. Look, they are constantly pushing to create the best cannabis experience just for you. The perfect boost comes from the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flowers with only the highest terps, making the best even better. Glorious Cannabis, check them out at your local retailer, or you can always check them out online at gloriouscanna.com.
What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for kicking off the day with the crew. And you know what I love really about this network?
What?
It's a mix of highly passionate fans. Everybody here has played something in high school. Some people have played in the biggest pro leagues like Braylon Edwards, Lindsey Hunter, Darren McCarty. Some of these guys got championships, right? Some of these guys have covered these teams. You got Neil Rule. You got Ryan Romani.
Tom.
You played pro, right?
Way. Pardon?
You played pro, didn't you?
I did, out in Germany.
Oh, that's right.
Bundesliga
I played
baseball.
pro-am too, bro. Oh, my goodness. I love basketball. But you know what?
Is my favorite sport.
Let's go. Hey, shout out to DJ Justin. That dude, Justin.
Hey, Chalk.
Thank you.
Who is
Thank
this?
you.
Chalk.
This is Chalk.
Shout out to DJ Chalk as well. That's the homie. That's the homie for real, man. He used to do a lot of good. You remember him? He did a lot of good work here in the beginning, and right now with his music, he's doing a whole lot, man. But you got a new game.
I
that
do.
You want to introduce?
I do.
Guess
it's called Guess
Woo.
Woo. This is a simple one. Another one we're testing out here, leading into some later Lions defense segments. But I got 2 NFL players that we're gonna compare. I'm gonna have you guys guess. Actually, we're gonna try to guess who these 2 players are, and maybe it leads into a conversation. We'll see. But it's simple. I think it's 6 or 7 hints that I can reveal to you guys, but I need this to be interactive. Part of the test is how we make this interactive. Shout out Dante 151 with a 1999 super chat. Wow. My dog, thank you. He says, "Hey, Broder, how sad is it that Ronald Acuna Jr. is out for the season with the torn ACL? Also, guys, call the suicide helpline because of what happened this past weekend in the golfing world, and it's really sad and it's screwed up." You know what? That's a good point.
I just found out about Stan Van Gundy's wife.
I saw that clip too.
My goodness, my heart goes out to him, and he revealed that she had committed suicide in August. Man, oh man.
Yeah, and Grayson Murray, he was the one PGA Tour member, 30 years old. He took his own life this past weekend. Was it Friday? I think it was Friday, Saturday. Bill Walton, legendary NBA player, not suicide, but he passed away of cancer. Obviously, it was Memorial Day yesterday. I think this is just a good time to reset. Tell the people close to you love them. If you are dealing with stuff yourself, this is Mental Health Awareness Month. If you're dealing with something, if you're feeling depressed or anxious or feel lost, talk. I want to say talk to someone, but I know how hard that can be. Find some outlet to bring some happiness to you. That's not drugs or alcohol or something out of body. Go pick up a basketball. Go play catch with a friend. Go do something. Get some exercise. Or find someone to talk to, or call the suicide helpline. Just know that there are people out there that do care about you. That would be. I imagine it's sometimes very difficult to believe that there are people out there that care about you when you're feeling as depressed as some people are. You're out of contact from people since COVID. Like, there's so much going on in this world. It can be difficult to deal with things on a day-to-day basis. But just know that people do care about you.
That's why I hope the chat family understands every time we fire up these shows and we say what we say about the chat being our family for real and how you guys encourage us and put us in a different place. I know where I was 5 years ago, and I was doing my best, but mentally there's always things that kind of can nip at your heels. Since this thing has started, and it hasn't been just the easiest road, to be able to have people here like yourself, like JB, like Flannel, you know, I don't think you guys understand. I'll run through any brick wall for the guys that are in the trenches here at this network, and it's meant the most. And when we get the opportunity to do things like this, even before I was up here, you know how many people in the chat was like, hey, we would love to see Kool-Aid on the desk. Hey, we would love to see Broder on the desk. Yeah. We would love to see this person get their opportunity. To have people actually going to bat for you. You know what I'm saying? To have people actually appreciating who you might be as an individual and what you're trying to bring to the table to serve them. It helps a ton, man. Yeah. It helps a ton. And we hope that we are doing a good job for you guys as well. I look at this truly as a family, and I'm grateful. I am grateful to be doing this. So thank you, chat family. Thank you guys too, Woo Crew.
Thank you, chat family. I know that I'm starting a podcast with Joel, one of the other interns, and we went on heavyweights on Friday to promo it a little bit, and they were so accepting. A few of them subscribed. It was absolutely awesome. So shout out, chat family. If you're ever struggling, don't feel that you can't put it in chat. We're here for you as well. And thank you for tuning in every morning.
Yeah. Woo woo. Yes, absolutely. And you know, I know we didn't intend for this to turn into this kind of segment, but yes, we're just being real. We're just being honest. We're trying to get these things off of our chest, as well as, you know, whoever's out there struggling with anything right now. Do yourself a favor. Call the hotline. Please. Talk to somebody. Talk to a family member. Talk to a best friend. Whoever you have that is in your corner right now. Talk to them. Express your feelings on how you're feeling right now. I know it's hard to do sometimes, but still, at the same time, you don't want your end result to be an end of life, because everyone who is still here is dealing with that loss, is dealing with that pain, and we hate to see that. We truly do. So if you are struggling in any way whatsoever, reach out to someone, because it is the best thing for not only you, but all your family members, all your friends, and everyone around you that loves and cares about you.
Please
so just do yourself a favor. Please
do. I lost my best friend to suicide at 18. At 18, man. And it sucked, man. Man, golly, it sucked. And I just reach out to your people and be receptive to those that are reaching out to you as well. I was young, I was dumb.
But nothing can ever prepare you for something like that. My best friend, the first weekend of COVID, he took his life, and seeing a funeral remote and wanting to be there and wanting to hug his family and hug your friends, that moment changed me. I don't know if I've recovered from that, but everyone has, no matter how big or little, everyone has something that affects them. And sometimes it's hard, especially if you struggle with judgment. Like, you might not feel like what you're going through is as bad as other people, but what you feel is what you feel.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Super Juggernaut asks, just real quick, what if you have no family? I swear to you, and I don't say I swear to God just to say it as a colloquial term. I really swear to God that we are here for you all at the very least. I promise that.
Yeah,
for sure. And yeah, you're giving me goosebumps right now, brother. I'm so sorry to hear about that. That's really something difficult to go through. And everyone in chat, I feel like a lot of times when I go through stuff that it's not as big as what other people are dealing with in the world, and I really struggle with that and getting help, but you still need the help, and we're here for you. Hopefully there's other people in your life there for you, but at least we're here for you, and we love you, chat.
Yes. Yeah, show up here. We're every day. I guess except for yesterday. Every day, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Come hang out. Come say something. What I love about our chat is that it seems like everyone's there for each other too. It's not the intense debating. It's not the bad stuff. It's you got a family here. Shoot me an email. We'll figure out how to make it work. But this is actually going to be a short segment. Let's get into it because it leads into our next Lions topic. Let's debut this Guess Who game, and I need interaction from you guys. I think JB knows the final answer, so don't cheat and give it away. But if the chat is saying some things, they have guesses. Justin and Khalid, I'm relying on you there. So
did you want to go to break and then come back and tee it back up, or just get into it right now?
Sure, let's go to break real quick. We'll end.
Before we go to break, I'd just like to shout out Rando Smalls. We love you, dog, and we're here for you, man. We appreciate you being here every morning.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Absolutely.
Ooh, all right. Yeah, let's let this segment rest, and we'll get back.
Let's just take it to break. We're not gonna do an ad read. We'll do one when we come back.
Yeah.
Everyone, thank you so much for being here. We'll be right back to finish off this show.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
To Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for kicking off the morning with the crew, and I'm hoping the more and more that you guys get to know us and the more and more we get to know you, you guys understand just how real and how authentic this is for us. You guys do a great job for us as well. You don't even understand it. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for supporting the crew. Thank you for supporting the network as well. Let's get into this segment, brother.
Let's do it. JB, if you could throw up that first slide that has the first hint revealed. These are two NFL players. That's the only hint I'm going to start you out with. The very first one that's coming up next. We're going to see their PFF ranking at their position. And yes, they both play the same position. 59th ranked at their position on the left, 14th ranked at their position on the right. Any guesses to throw out there? Who could it be? And I'm going to start. You can either throw out random names or maybe, you know what? Let's go into this next one, JB. Let me give you the second hint because that is a little tough to guess. Of all the NFL players, both of these have something in common. They're both entering their second year in the NFL. Crickets.
I've no.
Dante151 says Hutch.
That's what I was thinking.
Matthew Kruger says this is dumb. I'm sorry, Kruger. Gonna need to live with that one, Mr. Matthew. All right, let's go to this next one.
A lot of Brian Branches in the chat right now.
Brian Branch, pretty good guess.
Entering his second year. That is a good guess.
Entering the second year, so they are both rookies.
Not Hutch, yeah.
Next one, JB. One on the left, a 59th ranked coverage grade. On the right, a 10th ranked coverage.
I think the left is Jack Campbell.
You think the left is Jack Campbell? That might be a pretty good guess. What about the next one, JB? Fourth clue. One on the left had 2 sacks in 2023. On the right, 2.5 sacks in 2023. Dante151 Ifby. Jared Tobiason says one is Campbell. Chef Talks Lion says one is Campbell. Rando Smalls says Stephen Gilmore versus Brian Branch. Mike Reed says Brian Branch. Kirby and Branch, Steve DeYoung. Let's go to this next one. I'm going to add in another one. 5 tackles for loss in 2023. 2 tackles for loss in 2023. These two players are on different teams in the same division. Different teams in the same.
So they're not Lions?
Maybe. Maybe one's a Lion. Maybe one's not a Lion. We'll see. Another Campbell and Branch. Branch and Campbell.
I'm thinking Campbell. Or
I do like Campbell on the left.
Okay. So you're going with Campbell on the left?
Yeah.
Any guesses to who's on the right? I said they're at the same position.
Ooh.
JB,
maybe
you hit the next
TJ
clue?
Edwards. Maybe TJ Edwards.
That's a good one. Linebacker for the Bears.
Yep.
18th ranked run defense grade PFF. 48th ranked run defense grade PFF on the right. You still think Jack Campbell on the left? Branch and Campbell says A313. All right, last one. On the left, 95 tackles in 2023, 102 tackles in 2023 on the right. Get your final guesses in. This was the last clue. Told you this would be quick because this is leading in to our next discussion.
Broder, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Were you watching Pokemon this weekend when you came up with this?
I wasn't. Why? What did Pokemon do?
Have you ever seen like a Pokemon episode and they're like, guess that Pokemon, and it's just an outline of their body silhouette?
I didn't.
Like, guess that Pokemon. It's Pikachu. Bulbasaur. Damn it.
Me too. I didn't. I was inspired. The graphic was inspired by a different graphic, but I've been wanting to do a Guess Who game. All right, final guesses. I'm seeing, you know what? I see a couple guys with the right answer. JB, if you can throw this up. K Goose says Ivan Pace Jr. Ed O'Neill says, Napgod Campbell on the left. There it is. Charles and McLean. Campbell and Pace Jr. Ed O'Neill, Jack and Ivan. Can you throw up the reveal, Mr. Smooth?
Wow, okay.
There we go. Jack Campbell, linebacker for the Detroit Lions, on the right. Ivan Pace Jr. There's our quick game of Guess Who. Probably going to have to reconfigure that to make to refigure out the engagement portion of it. But I wanted to do 2 linebackers. I wanted to do Jack Campbell to lead into this next segment.
Next time, we will let's attach a giveaway to it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that because I think it's fun. I really do.
There's a way to do it better.
I think that we should have to lock in our answers at some point as well, so that we're competing against each other, and then whoever gets it first technically wins between us. Just bragging rights, nothing special, but
I like that.
I like that.
I like it. It's a good foundation. And you know what? Y'all already know they talking linebackers, so I'm ecstatic right now. Jack Campbell is somebody that I really, really have my eye on taking a big step forward this year, not just because of what he's going to do, but because of what the organization has done as well to kind of beef up the defensive line that's in front of him, as well as the defensive backfield behind him. So
yeah,
I can't wait to see what he does this year.
I wanted to put those two together because although neither of those 2 linebackers were in, I think it was the top 5, top 7 for Defensive Rookie of the Year, both of them had different expectations heading into the year, but what I believe to have pretty successful seasons. I think Ivan Pace Jr., I think Yaya Diaby, the outside linebacker for the Bucs, got some votes for Defensive Rookie of the Year. But Ivan Pace Jr., undrafted out of Cincinnati, had an absolute stud season. Jack Campbell wasn't far behind in terms of overall tackles. We know Jack Campbell, he didn't get as many snaps earlier on the season. It took him a minute to kind of get rolling, get comfortable out there. But I want to see he's not too far off to what I think was the best rookie linebacker in the league. And some of the other players that I was thinking of comparing him to, he's not that far off either for some of the top linebackers in certain key linebacker statistics going into next season. So based on the Jack Campbell conversation, and I got a clip to play from Aaron Glenn and from Jack Campbell, how important, Kool-Aid, is it Jack Campbell taking this next step for this defense? Do you think his emergence, his progression, can it lead to a top 10 defense? That's the number I want to see. I want to see a top 10 defense. How important is Jack Campbell to that?
Yeah, listen, I feel like this team with Alexander Zaloni, as well as, like we said, the upgrades they've made along that defensive line and defensive backfield, they already have the makings to get there, but Jack Campbell can guarantee it. If he takes that step forward, then you're looking at realistically a defense that should be solid in all 3 phases, in all three depths. So I'm hoping that Jack Campbell has this thing together this year. I know people want to see him get faster. I want to see him take kind of this IQ to the next step as well. I think the only thing, once you're in the league, the only thing that can kind of overcome some of the deficiencies, like the natural born things, like how fast you are and such, is how smart you are to be able to kind of read and react at a much quicker pace than what the offense is doing.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see out of Jack Campbell more than anything this year.
Yeah, he has the athleticism.
Yep.
He was one of the best, the highest graded athletic linebackers in the draft, I think, since Luke Kuechly. People forget how athletic he is, how fast he is, on top of being strong. So you're right. The more he learns, the more reps he gets out there, the faster he can process the offensive plays. And Justin, when you get a second, if you could go to the Jack Campbell back wall, I think that leads to so much improvement for the overall defense. Like the linebacker crew emerges. The addition of DJ Reader, we've talked about it before. I think is arguably one of the most important free agent signings across the NFL for what he can do to the entire defense. We talk a lot about Hutch and Ali McNeil and that secondary. They didn't add much, or they didn't invest much, I should say, in the linebacker position other than re-signing Jerm to an extension, signing undrafted free agent Steel Chambers. I think a few undrafted free agents, but Jack Campbell's as important as anybody. And there's a clip here from Aaron Glenn talking about Jack Campbell and what he sees from him already out on this practice field.
Let's go.
Going into this season.
Let me tell you, first off, he's a man. He's a grown man. He's really like taking control of this offseason the way he should take control of it. He's a true Mike backer. He's a guy that lives, breathes green dot mentality as a Mike backer. And he's done a really good job of actually, and all our guys have, just transforming their body because they've had a true offseason in the NFL. So he's done a good job with that. And then just watching him on the field, his zone drops, his mentality as far as going after the football has been outstanding. We only had 2 days of practice, and he's been doing a heck of a job. And just the way that he's leading the men as far as defense is impressive to see.
Aaron Glenn, he's not going to lie to you.
He can't.
He can't.
He knows this is the year where it's very important for him to produce. His defense has to produce. I don't think that there's any aspect of him trying to sugarcoat things, because that doesn't save your job. That doesn't save your reputation. That doesn't make your defense perform to the level that you're saying. So if he's actually talking this, I actually kind of believe him.
Yeah. And I almost think he caught himself a little bit when he mentioned the green dot or the green dot mentality or the green dot type. I forget the exact words.
That'll be what, number 1 linebacker?
Yeah, that's your leader, your quarterback. That's what Anzalone is now. And I don't think he wants to say, all right, he's the next Anzalone, or at some point he's going to take over for Anzalone. But
bro,
he wanted
wrestle
to say
it away from Anzalone. I love Alex Anzalone. Jack Campbell, this is set up for you to wrestle that away from him. And then we have 2 good linebackers.
Yeah, that's a competition. If he can do that from Anzalone, who keeps taking his game to the next level, who's known as the leader of that defense. None of this is to bring down Anzalone or to question his leadership or his skill. But if Jack can elevate himself to take it from him, that just elevates that whole room. Yeah. That makes that whole defense that much better. If Anzalone is your second best linebacker or eventually your third, like we talk about how much Anzalone has improved and emerged, how important he is to this defense. If he's your number 2, that's not a knock on Anzalone. That's Jack Campbell taking that next step. By the way, shout out to the Lions YouTube for that video. It's epic.
Yep. And you know what I like about this linebacker room is looking at the progress of Alex Anzalone, even though a lot of fans at the beginning of that journey were like, what are we doing with this guy? Why is he here? He's not the fastest. We don't know really what he's going to bring as it relates to coverage. And all we've seen Alex Anzalone do year after year after year is get better and better and better to the point that right now everybody says, oh no, Alex Anzalone is a legit NFL linebacker. That should encourage everybody who's looking at what Jack Campbell is doing and what you hear Aaron Glenn saying. That should encourage everybody that Jack Campbell could take and make the same type of progression. And he's younger. I look forward to seeing what he's going to be on this field. Last year, we saw him improve as the year went on, especially towards the end of the year and in the playoffs. What I'm hoping this year is that when the season begins, Jack Campbell just hits the ground running. Absolutely. Be the meat missile. Be the meat missile. That's it.
You know, he's Jack's he's been thinking about this season. He's let that San Francisco 49ers game eat at him. I don't know if he's let it eat at him. He says it's been eating at him. That's the play that he remembers from last season the most. Check out what he had to say when being asked about what he takes away from last season.
Just what eats at me the most was just the last play of the 49ers game. Just because, my family knows it because, they're connected to me and, I talk to them on a daily basis. But, the amount of sacrifice it takes from, the whole team to get to that point. And then, some guys, Jerm I remember Jerm, vividly telling me, I've been in the NFL for 7 years and I haven't even, played in one playoff game. So just having that experience in playoffs is just important, but getting to that next level of the Super Bowl and then winning the Super Bowl, that's what everyone's here to do. And I feel like that's honestly probably what eats at me the most my first year. Just
go off,
having
Abe.
That, not
that's your
stripped
boy.
Away from me, but just that opportunity was right there, and I feel like I was part of the problem and getting us over that next game. So that's probably what gets at me the most. So
self-accountability, self-responsibility, and there's that word again, that phrase, Super Bowl. Super Bowl. Man.
It's in that DNA. It is in that DNA.
And you
that's
can see
that's Dan
face.
Campbell.
You can see in his face. You can tell when something's bothering a player because that fuels everything else with their workouts. He's not working out this summer just to be like, okay, I'm in the NFL. He's working out this summer to say, we have to win a Super Bowl, and I have to be a vitally important part of what this team needs on the field from the linebacker position. I agree with you. If Jack Campbell is that guy and takes that next step, this defense, lock it in, top 10. Lock it in. Lock it in. I'm dead serious. Lock it in. Lock it in. I'm expecting big things from Hutch this year. I'm expecting big things from the defensive backfield. I'm expecting big things from DJ Reader. Those linebackers are going to get a whole lot of help. And you know what they're not doing? They're not just sitting back like, oh, great, we got help in front of us, help behind us. They're saying, no. I got to be the best on this field right now. And I'm telling y'all, that's what I love. It's what, just over 100 days into the Lions kickoff?
I forget. I forget who tweeted this out. I wish I could provide him credit, but someone said maybe it was Costa, Jim Costa. We're now over the halfway point. There's less days until the opening kickoff than it is since the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Tom Pelissero tweeted this morning 100 days to kickoff as it relates to the Ravens and Chiefs, which starts on September 5th.
Because isn't it like 90 days or like less than 90 days so college football starts?
Ooh, we're almost there.
Yeah, we're almost there.
It's coming. It's coming. But when we come back, Jack Campbell wasn't the only rookie going into his second year or two take a step or begin to transform his body. There's a viral picture you guys have seen going around. And both Aaron Glenn and Dan Campbell has something to say about that player who we'll talk about when we come back. But Kool-Aid?
Yes, sir.
I believe you're going to tell us about Lady Jane's.
I will.
Yes.
You know what?
Here we go.
Something as awesome as if Jack Campbell actually takes that next step is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Just stop in, sit back, and relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented hairstylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. That is Lady Jane's. You guys already know it's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. It's 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you as long as needed, because this is technology backed by people. Your safety and security, it deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who've been proven to care. All you got to do is call this number right here, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, that number is 1-800-STAY-OUT.
I think it's a great group. Really excited about the personnel, the coaches, the environment. Haven't been this excited since 2020 when we went and won the Super Bowl. So much talent on this team. Really competitive environment. And so far, it's been really good.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm ecstatic. I'm excited. I told y'all, they're all talking the same thing, bro. They're all talking it.
Carlton Davis has one. He has one.
Let's go. So then he would have a perspective as it relates to what this team is potentially capable of.
You know how Jack was just talking about that experience of getting to the NFC Championship game?
There
Want to
you
get
go.
that experience of getting to the Super Bowl? Carlton Davis has that.
Hey, shout out to I'm Salty as well. He asked if the Lions signed that Michigan Panthers kicker yet.
Not yet. I don't think they are able to until that season's over contractually.
Yeah.
I think there's something between the NFL and was it UFL or USFL?
UFL.
Bro,
UFL. But
that breaking news is going to hit like crack.
the most breaking news for a kicker of all time, when and if it happens. Dave Phipp commented on it last week, by the way. He didn't comment in detail, but he was like, yeah, he's aware of his story and proud of that kid or something like that. Dave Phipp is hilarious. The special teams coordinator for the Detroit Lions. But,
I'm aware.
Yeah.
I like that.
You see, though, that type of confidence, especially when we talk about a young secondary.
Yeah.
Now, they got vets. Kirby and Iffy, they're all heading into, I think it's their 4th year. Amik Robertson is a little more experienced, but then you draft Teron Arnold and Enos Rakestraw Jr. early on. It's so clutch having a vet like that. But there's also another player going into his 2nd year. Not the one who I teased first, but there was a player last year who transformed his body. And while some people were hung up on pressures and this player not getting to the quarterback, not getting his sack numbers, he had a pretty spectacular year. And you look at his overall body of work so far in his young career as the number 2 overall pick. Aiden Hutchinson's another one of those players who might be taking a leap. And not just Aiden Hutchinson, the players around. Aaron Glenn talks about what Aiden Hutchinson's improvement might do to these other players as well. Check out this clip.
Let's go.
Listen, everybody wants sacks. And listen, we have a guy that's going to do a heck of a job no matter what the situation is. And I'm talking about Hutch. He's going to get his numbers just because of who he is. The thing that we want to make sure we do is make sure we try to get other guys to get those numbers too. I feel like we have one of the best, if not the best, D-line coach in the league. He's going to do a hell of a job being able to help the technique part of how you're able to do that. So, listen, we all want sacks, and you're right. I mean, sacks doesn't really just state exactly like how good you are as a defense. You look at Hutch, I think he was up there as far as pressures. The thing is we want to make sure those pressures turn into sacks for him. We want to do that across the board with everybody that we have. So there's going to be some guys going to have to step up in that area.
Bro, shout out to Ed O'Neill. Jack lets me know that the team is locked in, to be honest. And when you hear Aaron Glenn speak, it's not a guy who's trying to figure out what to do, how to scheme, how to make up for the deficiencies on his defense. Oh, no. He's talking like he has a full deck now.
He's all talking sex.
You know what? That's when you talk the most confident, huh? Yeah, that's what we see out of Aaron Glenn right now. And I'm telling you, I'm really excited because everything else about Aaron Glenn is there. When you hear the whole league, players outside of Detroit saying, we would love to play for Aaron Glenn. He's the number 1 coordinator that we would love to play for if he became a head coach. That to me speaks volumes. And now all of a sudden you have Aaron Glenn who's talking about what his players are going to do on the field this season. Not, we'll figure it out. Well, do you guys need to make a trade? Well, we'll figure it out. Do you guys need to change your scheme? Well, we'll figure it out. Now it's just like, oh, no, Hutch going to get his.
Yep.
This guy going to get his.
Aleem.
Let's go.
You know who else? He has more confidence in this player than I think a lot of us in the Lions fan base because we don't know him that well. We don't know him other than knowing he's missed some time in his career with some major injuries. But Aaron Glenn is fully confident in Marcus Davenport if he's healthy. Check out this. Here's 13 seconds about Marcus Davenport.
Very confident. I know that player. I know what he brings to the table. He's a big man. He's a man that can rush. He's a man that's very violent, the way that we want to play. I'm excited to really see that player get on the field.
Violent. He knows that player. He knows what's in Marcus Davenport's tank. He's just got to be healthy. He'll get him in the right position. If Marcus Davenport is out in the field and can be that first, second, third down, or maybe a first and second down player, and you bring in James Houston, if he takes his game to the next level, that's where we start talking about cooking with some real organic ingredients that he just didn't have this past year. There's nothing wrong with John Kaminsky's, Josh Pascal's. We need those players to elevate their game for this defense to get into that top 10 too. But when we're talking about an edge rusher, a 3-down edge rusher opposite Hutch, next to DJ Reader or next to Lee McNeil, you need a player like healthy Marcus Davenport.
Especially when you're talking the expectations that they have this year. They're not trying to have a cute season.
No.
They want to make sure they win the division, but that's not the end-all be-all. That used to be what Detroit Lions fans wanted. Just get us one division. just win a playoff
Just
game.
one.
They have completely different levels of expectation, and it's about the Super Bowl. And that's why I love that from the players. You guys have heard me say this before. To the coaches, to the top of the organization. Everybody is saying the exact same thing. And just like Ed O'Neill said earlier, you know, based on what everybody is saying, how everybody's showing up to the voluntaries, everybody's locked in to make this happen. Who wants to be the guy who's not working for the Super Bowl expectation?
Nobody.
Who wants to be that in that room? Like, I don't want Dan Campbell to come and address me like, hey, bro, you're not working hard enough. Are you kidding me?
That would be the worst. That's when your parents disappointed in you. That would hurt. Dan Campbell tells you you're not working hard enough.
That's about the same.
Oh,
yeah.
JB, Ed O'Neill says, I want to see AG become a mixture of Brian Flores in the Chiefs DC, to be honest. Charles McClain. Oh, shoot, where'd it go? With Reeder and Davenport coming in, I see Hutch no longer double-teamed and could lead the league in sacks, saying 15-plus sacks for Hutch. How do you feel about those two comments or anything you have to say about what Aaron Glenn has to work with?
Aaron Glenn has a lot to work with, and honestly, the expectations are up here now. There's no more excuses that you can make with spoiled vegetables. You're trying to pull a defense with spoiled vegetables. No, you have all the ingredients right now to make this a top-tier defense. And yeah, I don't think Hutch is going to get doubled anymore because you have more attention that you need to focus on that defensive line now. So it's like, all right, now we got to focus on DJ Reader. All right, back to Hutch. Now, you know, teams are going to get confused a little bit out there on like who is bringing the pressure on every single snap. And that's what I love and you have to enjoy about this team. Like, AG, there is no more excuses. Go out there, get the job done. And as you said, you don't want Dan Campbell coming up to you like, hey, your defense isn't pulling your strings anymore. You got to do something.
Yeah. Bro, they got as far as they did last year. How many players did they add this offseason? They got to within 20 minutes of the Super Bowl. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just like, you know what? And they didn't just add players. They added good players. Like, oh, my gosh, I can't wait.
Well, we'll use PFF at this moment because it fits our narrative.
Shout out to Flam.
A+, the only A+ offseason was given to the Detroit Lions. And I agree. I'm not going to argue if you're giving an A-, A-, A+. They had a fantastic offseason for their needs, what they need to do to take that next step. Yes, go Blue.
What's up? So, for me, my take on this is I believe that people who have an issue with our edges still don't truly know about how good Marcus Davenport can be and Justin Houston coming back because you only need one of them to really be effective on the field. And that DJ Reader signing is so underrated. I was begging for that pre-off season and we got it. And I think that is going to be such a huge move. But another thing is it's so interesting to hear Bears fans' perspective of things because I have multiple roommates and my sister's boyfriend's a Bears fan. And he was trying to tell me as a sports journalist, I am so surprised that you think the Lions are going to win 12 games, win 13 games again, and they're not going to take a step back. And what I told him was, how could I think that when we got better? We got better than we were last year. I don't care about the division. I don't care about our division. Our schedule is harder. We are better as a team. And so there's no reason why I should be scared or why I should be tampering my expectations because of anyone else. I only care, I'm worried about the Lions, and the Lions as a team are better than they were last year.
Same old Lions are dead. Same old Lions fans are dead. We've been saying this. Listen, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, Sheila, this is a completely different organization, completely different level of the way that they do things. We've been saying this all offseason. The schedule, it's a big boy schedule. I'm sorry, my squad's a big boy team now. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
They got better. Everyone's talking about, oh, the Packers got a little bit better. Oh, you know, the Bears, they could potentially. I don't care. If I care about that, then how much am I actually caring about my own squad? Care about your own squad, and that's what I love.
Yeah.
These guys are locked in. They're not even thinking. Like I believe the division is important to them. I don't think it's an afterthought, but that's not their end-all, be-all, or their goal.
No, that's just goal number one. That's the start. Take care of the division. You gotta lead your division to actually win the league, win the Super Bowl. You don't technically have to, but that's the step to assert your superiority over the inferior teams. We gotta be prepared. There's a very strong chance that the Lions have a worse regular season record. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but a worse record, but they are a better team. The schedule's tough. Teams are getting better, but that doesn't mean this team didn't get better also. And to do that, you need guys like Jack Campbell to step up. Hutch, Marcus Davenport to stay healthy, James Houston. you also need your developmental projects.
Speak
like
on it,
we're going
bro.
to talk about with Gio Manu in a year or two. We need a year out of Broderick Martin. We don't need him to be a Pro Bowler this year, although that would be phenomenal.
He looked like he got the message.
It looked like he got the message. That's the thing. We've all seen the picture that went out. He's looking jacked. He's doing his clean pulls, his push presses. He looks jacked. Oh, there we go. Actually, I'll read this first. Ed O'Neill, $1.99. Thank you, man. Bears think they were the only one that got better. To be determined if they got better, by the way. I love their defense. Their defense is concerning. I don't buy their offense quite yet. I don't buy it. Do something to your interior offensive line, and then we'll talk. You also have a rookie quarterback.
I just don't understand how people can dismiss players like Hutch, like Aleem, like Reeder, like Davenport. What are we doing?
How about Broderick Martin? This is what Aaron Glenn had to say about Broderick.
Let's go.
Oh, no, you're good. I just kind of hit you with that quickly, JB.
Listen, he's have adjusted his body to be a NFL defensive lineman. Listen, I know there's going to be a lot of questions and a lot of guys asking, well, how's he improved? We don't have pads on, so when you're in your underwear, it's not telling anybody anything. The thing that we do know is the mentality is there. So since the mentality is there, now let's see if that's going to actually happen when training camp comes. So you guys will hear exactly what you need to hear once the pads come on.
He's got the right mentality. I don't even know if you knew that was happening. You teased that perfectly. You went transition to that perfectly. Shout out Burn, $5 super chat. Thank you, Burn. You are the man. Says Bears, Vikings, and Packers are better on paper. Lions have vets who can win and have been there. Denver Blair, I don't buy it either. Joey 2 times. Bears getting too much hype on the backs of a rookie QB and wide receiver. That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have talent out the wazoo. We haven't seen it yet. They haven't been in the NFL yet. They haven't. And the last thing, and I know we'll spend the last couple minutes chopping it up, talking with the chat, but the last 30-second clip, just because there is one piece, and Aaron Glenn brought it up in the clip earlier to Aiden Hutchinson, but Dan Campbell doubled down on a certain coach that makes this all come together, especially on the defensive line. Can you play this one, JB?
Yeah, look, he's improving. And there again, it's hard to say without pads on. Until we get pads on, that O-line, D-line. But I can tell you this, Terrell, who I got a lot of confidence in Terrell Williams, man, is our D-line coach. I think he really is. I think he's the best D-line coach in this league. And if he's not, you can argue what place he is. But, man, he's been working with him, a ton of one-on-one, individual, and look, the kid wants it. He's working, and he's improving. And he's another guy. We just got to get him reps, and training camp's going to be pivotal for him with the pads on.
Broderick Martin's coming along, but Kool-Aid, I brought it up before that clip. Terrell Williams,
man.
Dan Campbell,
one of
Aaron
the best
Glenn
in the league at his position.
That's what they think.
Yeah.
And when we talk about a young defensive, there are vets on the defensive line now, but there are still young guys that have a lot to learn, including Hutch. Imagine Hutch taking his game to the next level. When you got Terrell Williams.
That's crazy when you think about it. They still have room to grow, room to learn. They need to get better, but they're already really good. Really good. And you know what? Ed O'Neill said something earlier in the chat. He said Bears fans were saying Hutch is overrated. Let's start doing some themed chin music as well.
Yes.
Because I'm ready to have one for the NFC North. And, at the Bears, at the Vikings, at the Packers. It's all going to be the same thing. Just shut up, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Just shut up. Just stop talking. Shut up.
Got a lot to say. They got a lot to say, and I haven't even read this whole thing, but knowing Ryan's reactions, knowing his sense of humor, I think it's going to play right into what we're talking about. Thank you so much for the super chat, Ryan's reaction.
Wow.
Caleb Williams is the first rookie QB ever to come into the league with 2 1,000-yard receivers and a 1,000-yard running back. That is true. It wasn't exactly what I was thinking it was going to say, but that's true. He's got weapons. I don't hear anything in there about a center, a left guard, or a right guard.
That's what I was about to say. You got these weapons. How much time are you going to have to be able to get the ball to those weapons? And I heard all last year, right? That this running back is going to gas you guys. This running back is going to get you. This running back is going to get. It just never happened.
Yeah.
It just all season. And the Lions continue to be one of those, the top team at stopping the run. I don't have time for it. I don't care. You're doing your best. I'm not mad at the Bears. I'm really not. But what are we talking about here?
They got name on paper. It looks good.
On paper, it's gonna get squashed by the defensive line. Like I'm dropping bottles and everything.
Do you remember? You know who the 1,000-yard running back is?
Who?
DeAndre Swift.
Get him out of here, dog. I'm so tired of
We
this.
ranked
DeAndre
Swift for a reason.
Get out of here.
He's he got his bag now.
Get out of here.
How about one hit from Jack Campbell? We'll see if DeAndre Swift lowers his shoulder on Jack. Khalil Herbert. I kind of like their weapons. Don't get me wrong. But again,
you know what the Bears were saying last year? Hey man, you know that one guy y'all got with the long hair? He dirty. Amon was like, who? Amon St. Brown. Yeah, he dirty, man. Why? I think it was Justin Fields. DJ Moore was talking. I'm tired. Y'all are a bunch of crybabies, Chicago Bears, and your fans. Y'all, because usually we can just talk about the fans. No, you guys went out there, your team, Chicago Bears went out there and put on paper, the Lions are tough. The Lions hit us really hard. The Lions are I don't got time for it. Measure up on the field at least. Y'all not even really doing that. And I get it, how last year went. This team got better, though.
I got something about Caleb Williams, too, because it's a genuine issue for me seeing everyone just love up on Caleb Williams, and they're like, oh, they're going to go 10-7, woo! But let me hit you with a little reality, because I watched a ton of USC football last year, and I can tell you, they were way more talented than almost every team that they played last year, but Caleb Williams has this thing where he just throws picks. He runs and he fumbles. He is a turnover
and we have an
machine.
improved secondary.
And every time he played a team and a defense that the Lions are going to emulate this year, he struggled immensely when he's hit, when he has to move, when he has to improvise. When they see the Mahomes versus Caleb Williams comp, I don't love that, because even Mahomes was way more of a gunslinger, but was way more effective doing it. Caleb Williams doesn't seem like a pure gunslinger like Mahomes is, and the fact that he even draws that comparison out of the gate is ridiculous, because Mahomes is on a different planet.
It's because people don't want to respect the Detroit Lions still, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm okay with that. And really, I think it's kind of our division. Out there in the national media landscape, it's different to see people actually talk about the Lions being a threat to the Kansas City Chiefs winning a Super Bowl. As of late, I've seen them all talk about as well, the Packers about to take this big leap. I'm not saying anybody talk about the Bears, but Bears fans, shout out to fans. Oh, Caleb Williams. Oh, shut up. That's it. Just be quiet. Be quiet. Every strength they have is nullified by every strength we had last year, and then they went and reinforced those strengths this year. I can't wait.
No NFC North team.
Sweep the freaking Bears. Sweep the Bears. I do not care what they are, how they improved. Sweep the Bears. So it's beat the Seahawks, beat the Cowboys, sweep the Bears. If you split with the Packers, I get it.
Win the Super Bowl.
Win the Super Bowl. Win the Super Bowl.
Dante 151 99 super chat. Dante, you're the man, dude. Like, bro, thank you.
Chad has been on one today.
He says one player, if I was the Lions, to keep an eye on is Breeland Speaks. Breeland Speaks from the Michigan Panthers. He had a 3-sack day on Sunday to help the Panthers when he has 9 total sacks through 9 games total. Speaks, Matthew Betts, they'll find talent. If some dude's talented, Brett Holmes in that scouting department, they're going to see him.
Shout out to Michigan Panthers, though, man.
Michigan Panthers, did they win yesterday?
Yeah, they won 26-22, I believe.
That a boy.
Yep.
Shout out to them. Ed O'Neill, 199. Green Bay is the only team that respects us, to be honest. They know. Just not Peter Bukowski. Burn, $2. The Bears are the Al Bundy of the NFL. You guys are lit. Let's get to break so we can come back for What's Trending with JB Smooth.
Before you hit break, I was told in the chat that my narrative was wrong, but Caleb Williams had 16 fumbles last year and 5 interceptions. You don't call that a turnover machine. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's got to learn how to play in the pocket. He got too comfortable, and their offensive line sucked at USC. But in the NFL, you got to be able to play in the pocket to make your scrambling effective.
And their offensive line now with the Bears?
What?
What do you think of it?
The tackles are okay. They could be good. They're improving. The interior doesn't scare me. Also, the interior of their defensive line doesn't scare me. I'll say it again. Every single Lions game, keys to victory, preventing pressure up the middle on Jared Goff. Not one NFC North team addressed the interior of their defensive line. And most of them didn't do anything to the interior of their offensive line. That's where the Lions, that's their bread and butter.
Their bread and butter?
Bread and butter.
Their bread and butter. You know what? We got to get into this most electrifying segment in sports entertainment. You guys already know what it is, but Let me tell you guys about Swiss Insurance.
Swiss.
Bears fans, Packers fans, Minnesota Vikings fans. You guys might want to take out some insurance because you guys are talking too big. And it's going to be so sad when the Detroit Lions guts you guys. Where can you go to get that insurance? Swiss Insurance. Now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in extra fees, raising deductibles, or have you talking crazy. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today. 313-530-1698. Again, word to flannel. 313-530-1698 or visit them online. SwissINS.com. Sports sent you. Bears got me hot,
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Are you guys tired of wearing that same old Detroit sports merch? Well, let me tell you right now, this is a new era in sports wearables with new designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Do yourself a favor. Go to woodwardsports.com. Click on that shop tab. We are dropping new designs every single week, but I got to tell you about the ones we got up on screen here right now. We got the Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes election t-shirts, hoodies, hats. We also got the Tigers t-shirts, sweatshirts, and you know Kool-Aid has a couple of these in his closet. So welcome to Detroit signed t-shirts as well, too. Go to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab, get swagged out, and you know what? You can always eat something while wearing this swag too. What about that, broder?
Yeah, you got the crispy black shirt. Make sure it's black when you go to Soroki's because they got that hot sauce. They got that sauce that will drip all over your shirt because it's finger-licking good. Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. They're taking over Michigan. They got locations popping up all over Metro Detroit. They say they're doubling their number of restaurants this year. Soroki's is known for their quality hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tenders, sandwiches, and New York-style pizza. So be sure to stop in and try at a mega station near you or go to www.sorokis.com.
What you gonna do when the Lions run wild on you, brother? Hey, shout out to Denver Blair in the chat. He said, I swear Kool-Aid was going to do the Hulk Hogan thing and say that.
I like that.
So I was like, you know what? We got you, man. We'll take care of it. And MJ, shout out to MJ.
Let's go.
16 fumbles. Hands soft like a lady for Caleb Williams.
Bro. Hands soft
You know
like
what?
a lady.
You ready to cook up, JB?
Let's do it.
Let's ride.
White people.
Now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
What's
up, fellas?
Let's rock.
Electricity.
What's going on? All right. NBA playoffs was last night. Shout out to the Boston Celtics. They advanced and move on to the finals. Still waiting on Dallas and Minnesota to figure that out. Now, I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be Dallas, but it is what it is. But Kool-Aid, I got to ask you.
What up, though?
Is this traveling?
Oh!
Is this
Okay,
traveling?
Let me see that again.
Is this traveling or is this smooth?
In
They're
the
like,
NBA, it's probably all good to go. Because, you know, they got that new gather step rule. So there's the gather 1, 2.
What?
Might be a travel, but it's
in high
tough.
school it'll be a travel. In the NBA, they now give you the gather, and after your gather, you could take 2 more steps.
That first little hop right at the beginning.
Yeah, the first hop. I don't know about that one.
Trying to think.
Watch, the hop is done. Yes, 2 steps. It's a gather and a 1, 2.
What?
My drink and my 2-step. My drink and my 2-step. He's got Deuce on the shirt.
I can't believe that. That
That's
was
crazy, though.
That was smooth, though. What do you guys think of that?
NBA is good to go. If I did that in high school, the ref is looking at me like, other way.
Other way?
Yeah, travel.
Still tough, though.
That's still tough. But shout out to Overtime Elite for that one as well, too. Not Overtime Elite, but Overtime. But, Broder, I got to ask, in your experience, with your team, have you ever video bombed anybody?
Video bombed?
Yes, video bombed anybody.
In the background of interview or something?
Yep.
I don't know if I mean, maybe.
That's
Why?
some shit I would do, for sure.
Why?
Whoa, check this out.
Here with the winning pitcher, Grant Walker, and Grant, you tied career high with 5 innings to give us the way you're approaching your at-bats and being able to get on base and set the table for your team.
Baseball players are the weirdest humans of all time. It's fantastic.
That's it, so it's a really good feeling. You're in a pitcher's doing first career home run. I know, obviously, that was a big
This is
moment
even
for you,
during
and, you know, you really helped
during
your team
rain
out of the
delays.
leadoff
This is
spot
just
tonight
what,
to set
after
the
a
table
game?
and allowing your team to score some runs.
This is after games.
one
This
of their
is probably
trying to attack fastballs.
rain
What's the key for your
delays.
performance tonight?
I'd say the key was just
What?
The kid.
my coach just kind of taking me aside.
I think the joust was the best one.
I think so,
Here
too.
with the winning pitcher, Grant
What
Walker.
do you
and
think
Grant,
about that?
I love it. You got to find a way. You got to find a way to have fun on a baseball field when you're out there. The games are short now. We'll call it 2.5 hours. We would start warming up 3 hours and 45 minutes before the game started. So we're talking about a 7, 8, 9 hour day. You got to have some fun. Shout out to Cincinnati.
That was dope.
Yeah, I think they beat us once too when I was playing. So
damn. Sorry to bring up
No, all
old
good,
memories,
all good.
but shout out to Net Elite Baseball for that one as well too. I gotta ask, how squeamish are you guys today? Are you?
Oh boy.
Depends what you're pulling out.
Whoa,
Hey yo!
Welcome to the
Welcome.
Wake Up Woodward Show.
Welcome to the Wake Up Woodward Show. Well, hopefully you're not that squeamish, but
What you whipping out?
how good are your push-ups?
Oh no.
What? Cause like if he falls, then that nail is going through his head.
My man is doing a push-up with a knife
No.
On a
on
nail
a
head?
nail.
No.
Like,
this is what's wrong with the
If
world.
he slips off,
I hate this. You're so stupid.
That's crazy.
this is dumb.
It's
Wow.
like, how extreme is?
He been listening to Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn on
I
repeat.
guess so.
Super Bowl.
There's no reason to do this. There's not, you could, this is just for clicks. This is for engagement.
I guess. I don't know. Hey, he pulled it off. Hopefully this was his only attempt doing this, but my God.
The problem is how many other kids are going to try this because they saw this guy.
Several.
Yeah, someone's going to die. Someone's going to get an
That's
eye poked
wild.
out. I feel like a curmudgeon right now. I feel like an old, I'm like telling these kids not, that's so
Bro,
stupid.
you couldn't pay me to do that.
It's just stupid.
It's dumb.
Stupid. Let me try. Like I might die, but I just want to prove to people on TikTok that I can do a push-up on a knife on a nail.
Goodness.
Just use a freaking medicine ball. Like, people are getting so dumb.
It's so dumb.
Justin,
This makes Fish
why are the
Girl
kids
look
these days
so
getting so
sane.
dumb?
I just think that we just don't give a shit these days. And
I guess
You're defending it.
we're just no, I'm not defending it. I think that's some of the stupidest shit I've ever seen. Someone said in the chat, "Dumb ways to die." 100%. Like
It's
trying to
Steve
chop your
Young.
fingers off. Like, what are we doing?
100% one of the dumb ways to die. Shout out to Overtime for that one as well
Wow,
too.
that's wild.
And finally, I got to end it off with this one. My boy Thanos said it best. Fine, I'll do it myself.
Oh, it's the center fielder.
That might fall.
The center fielder.
And it does. Look at this. We got nobody covering second base.
And he hustles.
What's the
and
third
nobody's
baseman
covering
doing?
third either.
Unbelievable.
And he gets all the
What's
way
the catcher doing?
Nobody's
Hold on, bro.
And he
Get
will.
him! Woo!
This is the first time you've seen this?
Yeah.
I have
That's
never
electric.
seen that in
Never.
high school, but never.
The angle to the plate and everything.
Unbelievable.
Oh,
Goodness.
look at the effort from
you
the
ever
center
seen-
fielder,
I've never
man.
seen
Come
Him
on.
down on the sideline like a safety.
Single,
As a pitcher,
double,
what are you
triple,
doing
what
when
do
you
call
see
that?
your outfielders make that type of
Triple,
effort?
just got right on running.
If I was in the big leagues and I had a big league paycheck, I'm taking them out to dinner. A nice steak and lobster
Goodness.
dinner. What a play. How about this? Trivia boys in here. What is that scored in a baseball, in a scorebook?
Huh.
What would you score that?
I have no
Stick,
idea.
don't
no
give it
idea.
away. Don't give it away.
Hey, play that one more time, JB.
You
That's
wanna-
crazy. And what up, though, Stick?
Chat while this plays. What would you score this? I know someone.
Wild.
I know someone will know in here.
How many
Center
times?
fielder.
Center fielder made the play.
He ran all the way
I have a
in.
question though. What is the pitcher doing? I mean, if you see the catcher go to third base, isn't he supposed to be covering home plate?
Yeah, cover home.
The pitcher. So I'll keep an eye on here. He should be behind home plate like right now.
Was there a plate? Was there another player in the baseline, or was that just it?
So it looks.
Catcher goes out to third.
Oh, pitcher's just standing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Way to be a
What
spectator,
a play.
pitcher.
Never seen that in high school, but never.
That is wild.
I see some great answers in the chat.
Have you ever seen that?
Shout out to Baseball Dugout for this video as well, too.
Shout out. So
Crazy Clown said that reminded me of Rod Allen chasing that pitcher all the way out of the outfield.
seriously, Herb Nash 8 unassisted. Kieran Mark M 8 unassisted. CK 8 put out unassisted. Triple for the hitter 8 unassisted out. Chase Yamley, you guys got it. By the way, shout out to Herb Nash. I got to meet him. It was Friday night. Wow. He was with his daughter Kylie and his wife. Kylie just graduated from Tulsa. She was on the Tulsa softball team. Herb Nash is the dude. Shout out to you. He was like probably a section or two away from Colt Keith's first career home run.
Wow.
Herb
Nice.
Nash,
That's
stud.
right.
Appreciate you. JB.
Nice. That's it for what's trending, you guys. Let's
Great
hop into
job.
some mailbag.
Yeah.
Well done. Before we get into mailbag, let me first tell you about Feldman Chevrolet because they're sponsoring this wonderful mailbag segment. Feldman Chevrolet, since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. They got over 18 locations, so there's got to be a dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Also, check us out there once a month, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're at a Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. They're amazing hosts. It's part of what makes Feldman Chevrolet Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. You know what else makes them awesome? They sponsor Mailbag.
Let's go. Wake up
Shout
with the
out.
mailbag presented by the Feldman Automotive Group. I already see some mailbag questions into the chat.
Yeah, read them in chat. Put them in. If you put them in earlier, I haven't been following along as close, so copy and paste them back in. But what do you see?
Yeah. I do have one from earlier that I saved. Let me see.
Can I read a comment? But while you're doing
Of course.
that,
Yeah.
Art Vandelay says Dan Campbell guy in center
I
field.
saw that. Yeah.
Great call. That's a great
That's a
line.
good one.
That's
me
a
see
bar
it.
that you can always read.
Nate Edgerton, mailbag. If you are Scott Harris, are you doing everything you can to trade Javi at the deadline? He's playing well enough that just maybe we can get out of this hellhole.
The short answer is yes. I mean, you do whatever you can to get him off your roster without having to eat that contract. I don't know if it's possible to trade him. I mean, you're going to have to eat part. Like you're going to have to do a Mets getting rid of Scherzer. You're going to have to do a Mets overhaul too, where you give him to some team but also pay for him, so then maybe another team can just cut him or so. I don't know.
Yeah,
he's the one problem.
I was watching Javi highlights from the Cubs days, and there's just such an energy and an aura that he does not have on this team. And he's 100% one of those players where he needs to have that energy going. He needs to be flowing through the game, and it doesn't look like he enjoys the game right now. And I think if he goes somewhere else, we're gonna see him do well, especially if it's a place that he enjoys. It just really sucks that he's doing this to us.
Tough to enjoy the game when you suck balls.
Suck balls. Suck a baby.
Boring.
No, it's true. He was always great when he was the 4th, 5th, 6th best player on the team. Where he's never the type of hitter who can carry a team. He always struck out, but it was that excitement. It was that energy.
He's your spark plug. He's your spark plug.
I got a mailbag for Kool-Aid.
What up, though?
First of all, how do you feel about Anthony Edwards?
I like him. I do. He's getting punked right now, but I like him.
How do you feel about him quitting in game 1 like he quit?
That was tough.
Have you ever seen a superstar? Because me and Easy were texting back and forth during the game, and I was like, man, I was really becoming an Anthony Edwards guy. Like, I really liked everything he put out there. But then I just watched his ass walk up and down a court for an entire quarter, costing his team the game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I am no longer an Anthony Edwards guy. I have sold all stock in Anthony Edwards and what he is and what he could be.
Wow.
You see that out of a superstar? It's over. It's his career will never be what we all thought it could be. And it disappointed me because I was becoming a fan.
Hey, listen, I'm disappointed too. I'm going to give him one more season because this is the furthest he's been in the playoffs. I'll give him one season to figure this out and turn this around.
He's had his whole life not to be a quitter, and he turned into one. I mean, we watched Isaiah play with one ankle, right? Yeah. I mean, it was for the NBA Finals, but we saw it. We've watched other guys, Jordan in the flu game. You're tired? You're tired? You're tired. You're tired in the playoffs. Game run, Western Conference Finals, and you're tired because you went to 7 the previous series. You're tired.
Listen, when we saw the Detroit Pistons do their thing, they were battle-tested, team after team after team, and all we saw them do was continue to give effort, maximum effort. Even in the finals that they lost the year after, maximum effort down to the wire each and every single
Bill
game.
Laimbeer would have thrown him through a locker if he gave that type of effort on the bad boys. Honestly, he should be I would have kicked him off the team. I don't know why the coach let him stay out there for that long.
I see keys to wisdom. Can you put that back up there, JB?
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I just saw his statement. I think half of it is right. The other half of it, he said it's not easy to go from NBA nothing team to playoff studs. Edwards and Towns took a step, but we're not ready to run the tables. I'll put a little scratch through Carl.
That's fine, not run the table, but those are the same dudes that sat up there, and then they were like, hey, have you guys gone through? No, how much more losing do we got to do?
Exactly.
And then you get out there and quit game one. Obviously, you got to go through some more losing.
If you're yapping like that, nah, because I believe that Anthony Edwards was that guy for the Timberwolves. I never believed I expect that from Karl Anthony Towns, more so than Anthony Edwards. To see him do that, it was almost as if he allowed Karl Anthony Towns to affect his mentality more than pull his team up by the bootstraps to just give your all. It's the playoff.
Anthony Edwards, Boban, any player at any stage, 12th man through first guy, should never quit on your team, period. I don't give a damn who you are. And the dude quit on his team. That's why he'll never be what we all hoped he was going to be, and it's very disappointing.
That's a great point.
Rest in peace, Anthony Edwards.
Damn.
Flamethrower. That is stick in the building.
I'm with you. It's hard. To have to guard Luka and Kyrie all game.
Yeah, you're in the fucking NBA.
I know, you're right. I'm just like, you got to find a way to get through it. If you're who you say you are and who people say you are, you got to figure out how to get.
Or how about discretion is the better part of valor? Tap out. Hey, coach, I need to switch on this defensive series. Hey, coach, I need 2 minutes on the bench. I'll play the final 7.
Every level of basketball.
Be self-aware.
In every level of basketball play, the coaches tell you that we want you out there, but if you are tired and you know you can't give 100, just sub out even if it's for 30 seconds, bro.
Because we're playing 4-on-5 because your superstar ass wants to walk up and down the court.
And not just 4-on-5, bro. It's Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. You're really playing like 4-on-7.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm so offended is because I was becoming a fan. And now I can't
I feel that a lot.
I can't be.
I still give him a year. I know this is going to be something that Stick and I probably over the next NBA season are going to talk a lot about because you can't judge this based on the regular season anymore. You can't look at anything he does in the regular season and say, oh, he's giving us 150%. When it matters most is when it matters.
When your teammates needed you. Game 1. What'd you do? You walked up and down the court. Oof.
I don't think you can judge anything NBA related in the regular season anymore.
Nope.
No.
Just throwing that one out there.
Well, that in-season tournament, though, that predicted a lot.
Oh. Just gave the kids an extra $500K.
Yep. You want to read a couple more?
I got one more since Stick's right there. I'm going to go with this one with the DC Sports Pod with Caleb Zarnick. Shout out, Caleb. Mailbag. What are the chances that Jaden Ivey is a Piston next year?
Oh.
My mind's telling me no. Somebody.
Watching you, Kool-Aid.
One of the two NBA guys
you know what?
step up here.
It's tough because if the Pistons want to get better, one of their best assets that you could trade right now, if your hope is to build around Cade, it's Duren and it's Ivy, one of those two. I don't know what they're going to do, but when you look at kind of all the reports that are out there where the Pistons are supposed to be in on Brandon Ingram, I don't know if people saw it over the weekend, Evan Sittery, he said that the Pistons were the only ones who were in on Zach LaVine at the deadline. And now that he's had his surgery, now that he's healing up, they're talking about the Pistons might still be the only team who is trying to lock down a Zach LaVine type of deal. With the positions that they're looking at potentially trading for, it looks like Ivy is one of those guys that I wouldn't be surprised if he's out of here. If I had to put like a percentage on it, right now, I would say about 60% likely that Ivy finds himself in a trade.
Here's a trade option for you guys from Ryan's reaction in the chat. Do you think that they could trade Scooble and Almago for a shooter on the Pistons?
No one's taking on that El Mago contract. Any sport, anywhere, at any
Not
time.
even Tom Gores, dog.
No, Tom Gores is no.
He paid Drummond. He paid Monty. He even gave a second contract to Weaver. But El Mago is where you have to draw the line.
Gotta draw the line. You gotta draw the line somewhere. Except when runners are on base or in scoring position.
Where he's like actually like top 10 in the league.
17. Yeah, unbelievable.
Unbelievable. That almost
sports.
makes his story that much worse.
It makes it that much more interesting. Like, that's the thing. You like, all right, I hate this guy. I don't want him on my team. Unless we got people on base. He's pretty damn good.
See, I think that should show ownership. Like, if you had someone competent consistently in that spot in the order, anywhere, like, just balance the lineup out a little bit more.
Yeah.
If you have a solid leadoff and a good 2-hitter and he's your 3 and they're always in scoring position, he's best player in baseball.
Best player. Oh my
Keys to
gosh.
Wisdom said he's going to shut the Pistons off if they trade Ivy.
Baez makes me want to shove chopsticks in my eyes.
What'd you
Wow.
say? Wait,
So
what?
Baez makes me want to put chopsticks in my eyes.
I thought you said Ivy. I was like,
No,
what did
not
he do?
Ivy.
Bro. No, he would have been taken out of here in a body bag if he said that. I mean, Ivy, listen, I don't know what the hell Trajan Langdon wants to do with this team. I don't know what type of brand of basketball he wants to play. If you want to play slasher, you want to play that type of offense, Ivy's your guy.
Yeah.
You want to play, ball possession control and slow it down, that Cade's your guy. But this is where me and you have gone back and forth, and this is what I've been saying for months, is Cade may be the trade piece. We saw it with Stackhouse. We saw it with Grant Hill. Those were the very best players on the team at that time, and sometimes that's your best trade option. So Ivy may be a piece for the next guy on the Pistons. Cade may be the one that hits the bricks, but who knows? I don't know, but it's a possibility.
Yeah, if we're following the Tell 'em way, then Cade will definitely be here, a la his agent.
Oh, yeah, because the agent's going to walk him out of town.
Well, I mean, the agent,
Come on.
his son works there at Cade's agency.
That's fine.
If you look at everything they've done to this point, Drummond's at that same agency to get that boy the max. Cade is going to get the max. He's going to. Even if they do trade him in the future, they're going to sign him to this max first. But I personally, I want to see Cade and Ivy running back. I want to see this team have competency in the front office, competency on the sideline as it relates to the coach. I'm not saying that Monty Williams is not competent. I'm just saying he had a rough year last season.
So then who's the 3 and 4 on that team?
You got to go out there and find something else.
Okay.
I've been saying it for the last 2 years, 2.5 seasons. And people told me I was crazy when I first started saying this. I said Isaiah Stewart is not a starter. You're not going to win anything if Isaiah Stewart is your starting 4 or 5.
Jason Maxiell 2.0. Love him.
Yeah, and people hate it. I remember when the first people were like, what? These two embodies Detroit. Yeah,
Yeah,
off
he
the
does.
bench.
Yeah. So did John Barry. That doesn't mean I want him starting on my team.
Yep. Goodness. What a shot.
Yeah, let's take us out.
Yeah, hey, shout out to D-Mac as well. Wow. Hold on. D-Mac, man, you're sharp, bro. Hey, come up here real quick. Ryan Lyons doing an autograph signing.
Awesome. Former OHL Player of the Year. Awesome.
Let's go.
I was just out there.
Let's take us out because I think it feels like the show's already over. Let's
I thought the show was over.
No, you're good. Come here.
Shout out
Give me a
to
hug.
D-Mac.
Sorry, boys.
He's so
I'm
sharp.
Just getting ready. Hey, just so we know, so the Wake Up Woodward crowd knows, guys, who's always the first one in on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday? From Big
D-Mac.
See this?
D-Mac being
Right?
D-Mac.
There it is. I'm always showing up. So
D-Mac, give us our pep talks and everything. Show the love.
I try to.
Yeah.
So give me a little recap of the weekend, boys. Everybody have, God bless everybody who sacrificed for us to have freedom.
Yeah.
But it was pretty shitty.
Yeah. Tigers
there,
took
but-
3 or 4.
What?
Tigers took 3 or 4. Angel
Oh, you guys
Hernandez.
are still watching that? Isn't that the best news? Angel Hernandez retired?
He did. You guys are still
Forced
watching that?
retirement or what's the word on the streets,
To be
brother?
determined.
Bro,
I asked
get your nose in there. Find out what's
forced.
happened.
It was forced.
Hey, y'all
Holy
better
cow.
tap into Big D Energy today, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, stick around.
Hey, you know what? Let's wrap up. Gotta always play it safe, right? Definitely.
Legend.
Shout out to KG and Flannel Sam, the other two members of our squad as well. KG will be back in tomorrow. Flannel is on Big D Energy this entire week.
Going head-to-head with that man.
Yeah, with D-Mac. And then back on the desk here Tuesday through Thursday next week, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so for the people that are still here right now, shout out to that dude, Justin, holding down the sound booth in the back wall for us today. And you gave some great commentary. I'm still like that Caleb Williams, 16 fumbles. Epic, man.
Hey, thank you. Woo-woo. Excited to be a part of the crew. And have a great day, everyone.
Let's rock. And you know what? Woodward Sports is MVP. In the Titty booth on a Tuesday, it is JB Smooth.
On a Tuesday.
Amazing show, fellas. Once again, I know it's rough getting back to work and everything like that, but grab yourself a Red Bull. This week is going to be short. Have fun.
Let's rock.
Zing.
Hey, our credentialed Tigers and Lions reporter and writer, we got Matt Broder. Great breakdown today, man.
That was fun. Fun. Go see Scooble pitch tonight. Go see Paul Skeens pitch against Flaherty tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's your boy, Brandon Dan, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter. It's been a great day. Thank you, chat family, for everything that you guys do for us. The interactions and engagements have been awesome. We reached our like goals. If you haven't hit that like button, smash it on the way out. But most importantly, have a great day. It's been Wake Up Woodward. Let's go.